I want to apologise for the context in which we find ourselves today, because this meeting is now taking place with the decision having already been announced. A decision having been made without adequate consultation, little, I would say, if any consultation with the local community with respect to what the consequences of such action would be. I apologise for that. I apologise for the contempt that has been shown to the people of Scone, the educational community at large across New South Wales, with respect to the haste with which this decision was taken, but also the contempt that was shown in terms of the timing of this decision. That this decision was made yesterday, quickly followed by the resignation of the sitting Member of Parliament, speaks volumes. It was clearly a decision made knowing that the local member would be disgraced, the local member would be forced to resign. And our assessment is that the government didn't want to go to a by-election with the question of the future of Scone hanging over its head, and therefore deliberately made the decision, made the announcement, made the sale prior to the by-election that will now take place in Scone. When I arrived earlier today, I had a chat with one of your fellow colleagues, fellow Scone residents, who captured it all for me. He lamented the closure of Scone TAFE through the prism of opportunity or lack thereof for his own children. He said, "What are my two sons supposed to do now? Will they now be required to travel to Newcastle?" And I don't need to tell you that's a 300-kilometre round trip, in order to better themselves, their family and their community. And therein lies the problem. We've always said that educational facilities, whether they're our TAFE colleges or our schools, are the heart of community. Well, they've just ripped out part of your heart. We have a skills shortage in this country. We hear it every day. We experience it as citizens every day. There's a skills shortage. Rather than expanding the provision, rather than talking with local industry to see what's required in this town and surrounding towns to secure the skills that are required to rebuild our towns, many of which are struggling, courtesy of fires and floods, rather than have those conversations to continually change the skills that are on offer in our TAFE to make sure that that we deal with the shortages, this government has shut down the TAFE. The racing industry may be well served by this new arrangement through some private arrangements that may or may not be made. But what about the rest of the community? What about the other skill sets that are required in this community to ensure its vibrancy? They've taken it away. They say that these assets, the proceeds from this rock bottom sale, will be reinvested in TAFE. So does that therefore lead one to conclude that the upgrading of TAFE facilities is dependent upon the cannibalisation of TAFE itself? But where will those proceeds be invested? Well, from what we've heard, not in Scone or surrounds. Not in Scone or surrounds. This is contempt. Contempt of the people of Scone and surrounds. We're appalled by the decision to sell TAFE. Well, yesterday's announcement was a sad day. It should never have come to this.